Welcome back to the Rigid Bean Podcast. I'm here joined once again by my wonderful wife, Melissa.
Hi, everyone.
Whoa, I just got a text right as in the intro. Really? Right in front of my intro. We're trying a new setting here, a new acoustic. I hope the acoustic's a little bit better. We're trying a new setup. This is actually the second time we recorded this damn thing because our mics were picking up each other. So, here's the thing. If I sound like a robot right now, it's because I was too lazy to record again. But hopefully it doesn't come to that I had to sound like a robot. And next time we'll just use one microphone. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get ready because we might have our good friends from Moises and Brenda from Firelane Podcast on the next episode.
Or another episode.
Yeah, whenever we have time.
In the future.
We live like in the middle of
somewhere.
nowhere. We live in the middle of nowhere. We live by the border. Which actually ties in really... That's a good segue to what we want to talk about. So, the wife and I believe that we have a kind of a... I don't know. I mean, everybody's perspective has some merit and value to it, right? But if you guys don't know, if you guys aren't from here, we're from El Paso. And there's been some stuff... Trump's about to hold a rally here. When is it?
Don't know.
Yeah. So, well, that's actually perfect that we say it like that because, so he's gonna hold a rally, in El Paso. And now, if you guys don't know, he had said a few things about El Paso. You know, claiming that it used to be one of the most dangerous cities in the U.S. And before he built the little fence. Well, he didn't build it, but whoever built it. And kind of seems like he's implying he's trying to use El Paso as an example of how a wall would actually benefit the country. And I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into like the immigration stuff because we can sit here and talk about that all day. But me and Melissa, or Melissa and I should say, we're not really like big political people. I think her and I understand that this responsibility that we have as people of the United States to, elect people or, elect officials to govern and to make decisions for us. It's a big responsibility and it requires diligence and research and all that stuff. And I mean, quite frankly, I don't know. It was like, you can call it laziness or whatever you want to call it, but we never did it. We never... Yeah, we just never, got into it.
So, I just looked it up. He will be in El Paso February 11th.
Okay.
At the El Paso Coliseum.
Cool. That's where they have Monster Jam.
Yeah, he's going to talk about the border.
Of course.
And I have a quote. As the president continues to fight to secure our borders, there's no better place to demonstrate that wall works than El Paso. So that is what he is coming here to talk about.
So yeah, you were right. So he seems like he's trying to use El Paso as like an example. Now, Melissa and I, we've been gone. We're pretty much new to El Paso, in the sense of we were gone for like 6 years. I was in the military, and we were living in Nebraska. But like even before then, we weren't too involved in politics. But we have to say this here because we came back to this city because we loved it. They say there's no place like home, and we would definitely attest to that. I would say that it is true. And that's one of the big reasons why we came here. To raise our family, to have our family be close to our other family. Because we didn't have anybody over there. So we came back to El Paso to be here.
All we had was friends.
And
friends could be family, but...
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
It's not the same.
And we thought about it long and hard. we thought about it long and hard. By the way, I know usually we make like lighter subjects, we try to be funny and stuff, and I know it's kind of serious, so there's going to be some times where we get a little serious, but we like to, we're facetious people. We try to say funny things.
Make light of situations sometimes.
But I know this is like a serious topic because it is our city. But I just want you guys to know, it's important to note that we came back because we love this place. And we thought like, hey, like this is a good place to raise a family. And so whenever I hear stuff like that, but especially when it comes from the President of the United States, it's kind of hard for me not to disagree.
Yeah.
Strongly sometimes. Like, well, I mean, we had a normal, safe childhood. I mean, it wasn't like a type of place where you couldn't like go out at night or anything like that. We had lives and we felt safe.
Yeah, we hung out with friends. We would go at night, to the middle of the desert and, have
chill.
Bonfires and hang out with friends.
When we would hear this, I'm talking about back in like 07, 08 and stuff like that, when all that crazy stuff was popping off with the cartel, all the stuff that you're hearing, even some of the stuff that poured out over here, it was usually drug related, people that were already involved in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it wasn't that it did hit here, but it wasn't super extensive to where it wasn't safe.
Right. Like, and by the way, we're not trying to say that that wasn't a problem. Obviously, stuff like that is a problem.
Yeah,
it's an issue.
Every city has their problems, and
exactly.
It was an issue, but it wasn't so big that no one felt safe.
Right, and
here.
we're just arguing the fact that when the president says like such a blanket statement like the world's. Or sorry, he didn't say the world's. But the crazy, United States most dangerous, one of the most dangerous. Like it's kind of hard not to be like, well, I'm sure we could find a worse place.
Yeah, he says, the border city of El Paso, Texas, used to have extremely high rates of violent crimes, one of the highest in the entire country, and considered one of our nation's most dangerous city. Now, immediately upon this building with a powerful barrier in place, El Paso is one of the safest cities in our country.
I just noticed that because you just read that. That's like the third, fourth time that I read that. He said it used to be.
Yes.
He said it used to be. I wonder if everybody made that connection. Because literally it took me like 5 times to read that, to realize that he's talking about before.
He's saying before we got the border that we have, which I believe the reason we got that was because of President Bush. I don't know which one, senior or junior.
Yeah, I think it was senior or junior.
But we ended up getting a border because of Bush, and
I think it was right after 9/11 that all that stuff was going on.
Probably, I'm not entirely sure.
It's been a while. We were pretty young.
Yeah, and so the border started being built, but he's saying that after that border was built, then we became the safest city, which is not factual. Because if you look it up, as far as we've looked it up, it doesn't say that, and I don't know if we didn't look back far enough or anything like that, but
yeah. So George Bush initialed the Secure Fence Act in 2006.
Yeah.
So we're pretty. So I guess that makes sense that we kind of have this perspective, like, because we were pretty young when the border was kind of in place. Mm-hmm. So perhaps we're kind of looking at it as like, well, as long as we've been alive, which has only been, we're only 26, that we're thinking like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was never that bad. But perhaps, yeah, maybe back then it was bad. So I think it's important right there. We just discovered context is very important. He said it used to be, and now it's not. And I think we can agree that El Paso is pretty safe now, right? I made a rant about this on YouTube, and I kind of made a big deal about like, whoa, how dare you say it's one of the most dangerous? He didn't say that. He said that it used to be. Now, you could argue the fact that the border didn't do big of a difference. That's a whole different issue. But one of the things I wanted to touch upon... Sorry, did you want to say something?
No.
One of the things that we wanted to touch upon, because one of the things that I was worried when he was going to come to this rally And one of the things that I was urging people in my little rant on YouTube was that I want us to be tactful. I want us to be cool. I want us to keep a cool head, because I feel like in this now in this day and age, especially here in the United States, it's not okay to disagree with people. Like, it's not okay for someone to come and say something you don't agree with. And I think, honestly, the way that some people go about it, just, I don't know. I think it's important to, like, take into perspective how crappy of a job it is to be the president.
No kidding.
It is. It sucks. I mean, you're talking about one person trying to make decisions for a bunch of people. I mean, you can't.
With people who all have different opinions.
Exactly.
So you can't
and
please everybody.
Needs.
Yeah, and different needs.
Different backgrounds, different occupations. You know, it's hard enough. We made this example the first time I recorded this. Like, have you ever, like, if you live in an office, if you live in an office, get a better life.
If you work in an office.
If you work in an office or anywhere where you live, where you work with a lot of coworkers, and, you know, try to agree on where to go for lunch, like, it's a fucking nightmare. Somebody always has to disagree. You know, you're sitting there rolling around the same two restaurants over and over again. And at the end of the day, there's two people who only went there because...
2 or more people.
2 or 3 more, yeah, 2 or more people who only went there because the majority wanted to go there. It's the same concept. But now you're talking about on a huge, ginormous scale with a lot more money, a lot more people affected. It's insane. It's nuts. Yeah. And so the only thing that I want to advise people, and I would recommend, is that just take some time and really think about, you know, it's not that it's bad to be passionate about something, but really, whatever you're getting behind, it's important to be behind something that's going towards a solution rather than just making a bunch of noise. You know what I'm saying? If the shoe fits, wear it, by the way. Yeah. You know, like, think about it for a second. Like, why would you complain to be heard? Yes. But at the same time, why are you behind this, right? Why are you disagreeing? And ultimately, if it's not going to really affect your life, is it worth getting so upset about? And that's what we were talking about. Like, there's a lot of people who are passionate. We love the city too.
Yes.
But I'm not willing, or I'm not, like, I don't know. Maybe you might call me, like, unpatriotic or something. Like, I'm not willing to just sit and yell at somebody because they said something bad or implied something bad about where I live. Like, I don't know. I just don't have that urge in me.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, that's your right, you know. Mm-hmm. Just like it's you know, those people who do want to go and scream, you know, it's their right to do that. But, you know, if you do decide to protest and stuff like that, you know, always do it smart. You know, always, you know, if you believe something is wrong, you know, let your voice be heard. It's better to speak it than to have so much passion to...
Right.
Over-escalate it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, so, you know, you have that right to speak your mind. You have that right, you know, your freedom of speech and to protest, you know, but that's what it is. It's speaking, protesting. Yeah. It's, you know, nothing that needs to go above that. Yeah. You know, if you do it peacefully, do it safely, you know.
But don't forget, like, what it is, like, what is the actual point that you're trying to get across, you know?
Definitely.
And think about, like, as, like, human beings, you know, like, I think a lot of people, like, say, like, you have to earn respect or whatever. I think that's a bunch of bullshit, because, like, nobody wants to be disrespected from the get-go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to say, like, you have to earn it, or you can only do a certain amount of things before you don't deserve it, I think that's a lot of bullshit, because... when you meet somebody or you're talking to anyone, you wouldn't want that person to disrespect you. And I think that's what comes at, people forget about the golden rule. Respect goes both ways for a reason. It's because then nobody would deserve respect if you think about it.
Yeah.
If we're going on the basis of, like, somebody who is capable of saying something insensitive, misogynist, or just terrible, saying something terrible then I don't think any of us are worthy of respect in that aspect, right? So, I think we should all just even out the playing field here and say, okay, well, I'll respect you if you respect me.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. That's what it is, man. We should make those hats instead of MAGA hats. We should say, "Make America agree to disagree."
Okay, no, you said that on the first podcast.
I don't care.
It's still, it's still not a good one.
It's a good line. I'm trying to think of what it wouldn't be MAGA. It'd be MAG.
No. I mean, in the first podcast, you couldn't even spell reject, so you're not gonna be able to do this.
No, but we were talking about just how crazy it is, like, to think about, like, the job as a president or whatever. Like how are you not going to like get people riled up with what you say, especially Trump, man. Like, that dude has a big mouth. And
really no filter. Even if he does have someone who like is back there telling him, okay, you could say this,
he's probably
but don't say that, and he's just like, just throws that out the window and just says whatever comes to mind.
It's like the joke that you always see like in movies where like a guy goes up to give a speech at a wedding or a toast, and then he has like all these note cards. He's like, you know what? The hell with the note cards.
That's probably what that person feels like. He's like, okay, I'm giving you these things to say. You know these. You know, so you come across like very professional, and Trump's like, I'm just gonna wing it, and he's just like, no, what did I tell you? No, just read the note cards. Read the note cards.
He goes, that's okay. Mine are better, and it just says like, grab her by the pussy or something. No, I'm just kidding.
But can you just imagine being that guy's, like, having that guy's job? He's just like, no,
dude, it's nuts, man.
What are you doing?
It's a crazy, bizarre thing, man. Like, we were looking into it. Well, I'll say we were looking into it, but we saw that Facebook video of this congresswoman asking, other people that worked in the government, basically like higher ups, and she was asking a bunch of questions, about like what it was allowed, when you're in that high position, like if you're allowed to run for president using like big corporation money, like big pharma and all this other stuff, or if you what was another one? If you could like pay somebody off,
pay somebody to hide your skeletons, or
like bad stuff about you, like if that was allowed, and like they were saying like, that's all allowed.
Also, if you can to make money, to put money into stocks.
Oh yeah. Like inflate it.
And inflate
the stock.
The stock.
I mean, I'm not sure how that works, but
and it wasn't illegal. Like they're like, no, well, you can do that.
But it was crazy because she was saying like, that's not illegal for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Like you specifically, and it's saying so like now these laws that apply to you guys or that don't apply, like is it more lenient or less lenient for the president? And like the guy basically said like, oh no, like the president has even less laws. Like none of these laws would even begin to apply to the president. And she was saying like, so like the guy who has the most power, even more power than you guys.
Well, she was like more implying like for people who that she was implying to Trump,
right?
Which in her eyes, I'm not gonna say like in my eyes or whatever. In her eyes, she sees him as a bad guy, and she's like, okay, so this guy, dude. he's bad and he wants to do this. Is it illegal for him to do that because he's running for president or he's president? They're like, no. She's like, okay, so basically I could be a bad guy and I can do all this stuff, and it's okay because I'm president. And they're like, well.
Because of the laws.
The
way the structure. Yeah, the way the structure is of the way it is now. Yes, like there's nothing that would impede him. And I was like, and she kind of like threw her arms. I was like, do you guys see this is an issue?
Yeah, and she's like, so we are held up to a higher standard than the president.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's pretty much what she was getting.
Sometimes, I think sometimes people forget like the position the implications and the power that come with that. Such a high position. Like, to think that a human being with the same flaws that you and I have could just
even more flaws, too.
Could just sit there and, like, I'm going to make these decisions. and everybody's gonna love it. Like, no, you're gonna do your best. You're gonna, and that's the thing is that I just don't want people to go down to that rally and like make a mess out of it when the dude's gonna come and say a bunch of stuff
that
probably a lot of people are gonna disagree with. But then he's gonna leave.
Which also isn't factual because El Paso has been safe even before the border. It probably did affect the crime rate here, but.
Yeah, well, like I said, they were saying some stuff on the news how there was like a lot of gang violence on the, back in like the 90s. I'd have to go back and research and see how much of that was like immigrant related, or like if that had to do anything with the border, or if it was just like internal stuff here. Like I said, you and I can really only talk about like our experience while we were while we're living here
and what we can remember, and feeling not feeling like we were in danger.
I mean, it had to be pretty safe before the border. I mean, my parents moved us here, and I mean, I'm sure we could talk to your parents about that. I mean, I don't think my mom ever talked about a time where she was like I was afraid to go outside. Like I remember she used to tell me that she would leave the door unlocked and shit like that. Like, and she lived in a town that was pretty close to the border too, Fabens. So,
I mean, everywhere in El Paso is pretty close to the border.
No, yeah, you're right. There's literally a highway that runs right by it. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not disputing that.
To us, it's been safe.
Yeah.
From when we were born to now, we always felt safe.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's besides the point. I mean, I just don't want anyone to get hurt, like, at those rallies. I don't want people to go over there and like, start something crazy, and then now it's on the news, and now people are, I mean, that'd be one hell of a way to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Be like, it's one of the safest cities, and then you just get shot or something, and it's like, by the way, I really hope it doesn't get shot. Maybe you get like some chicos tacos thrown at him. Somebody throws some chicos tacos at him.
Some piping hot chicos tacos.
It'd be funny
sauce.
if he goes like, cheese is different. I'm just kidding. Oh, our daughter's moving. But yeah, man, I think it's just important to like just realize whatever you're gonna stand behind. Like, really just take a second and think, like, why am I standing behind this? Is it worth it? And do I have a solution? Like, or am I working towards a solution? Or do I just want to be heard? Which is fine. I mean, people want to be heard all the time. People deserve to, that's what we're doing right now. We're pretty much throwing our opinion into the abyss. Because, I mean, only a handful of people are going to actually see this or, like, listen to this and actually maybe get something out of it. Maybe somebody will just listen to us and say, like, these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about, which we really don't. We're not articulate enough or knowledgeable enough.
We're not very articulate, and we're definitely not that knowledgeable in politics.
But we do love the city. We love it here, and, yeah, we want to live here. This is where we want to raise our children.
This is,
home.
Safe. It's home.
So, yeah. So, this is a really short one. We recorded for like an hour, but then that stupid...
He's very upset about this, really if you can't tell.
I know right now it seems like we're like really cool, calm, collected. We're trying to be like... It's just that the fact that we wasted all our energy in that first one.
I mean, it was okay, because we kind of ramble on sometimes.
Yeah. It's okay when we're talking about nonsense.
Yeah.
But right now we're trying to keep it serious. Ish. We just wanted to let you guys know our opinion, where we stand. We think the president has a shitty job. He's kind of a weirdo, and we can talk about his hair and all that shit. But at the end of the day, he's out there. He's making some decisions that I definitely would never want to have to make.
No, definitely not. I mean, when you get to become president, they just. I'm pretty sure they just hand you a list of things and be like, okay,
fix this.
Here's all the things that need to be fixed.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Right. And if you need our help, we'll be right over here.
We'll be right here to tell you no, we can't do that, or we have to find another solution, or something. Yeah, he has a lot of power, but I mean, there's a lot of things that is wrong with America that he's not gonna be able to fix.
And we don't know the solution to
and we don't
That's
know
what
the
we're
solutions
saying
either,
here.
because there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, and not everyone's gonna be happy with the way we try to fix them either. So
Can you imagine? Like, that would suck.
yeah,
Like, can you imagine if you were like a parent? Like, if you gave birth to...
I mean, most people are parents.
No,
so.
okay, yeah, so like, can you imagine being the parent of like an entire nation?
No.
Right? Like, you're the father or mother, or whatever you want to be, uncle, whatever. You basically
Cool aunt.
you're basically just a bunch of babies. And you gotta raise them all. And then you realize, eventually you realize some of these kids are gonna grow up to fucking hate my guts. That's basically what happens.
Yeah.
Like you do your best, but you know that there's probably a majority of people who just do not want anything to do with you. Absolutely not. And like, if I were president, I know, a good thing I'm not.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing you're
I'm not,
not.
because first of all, my anxiety I'd probably nuke somebody just out of anxiety.
No, you wouldn't. But you're just a people pleaser. You wouldn't know what to do.
But that's the thing, is that like, if I were president, like, I would only look after the people that were behind me. Right? And I feel like that's like a very human thing to do. And like, if I can think that way, how the fuck am I not gonna think that President Trump has certain things in his head that are like, hey, I think this is right, and I don't give a shit about what everybody says.
Yeah.
He's a fucking guy. He's a dude. He's a guy. He's just a guy that he got a job because a bunch of people said that he would probably do a good job of it, and now he's doing his best, hopefully. And now he's gonna come. He's probably gonna eat some chicos tacos, and he's gonna get the runs, and then he's gonna get the hell out of here. He's not gonna be here that long, right?
I doubt it. I mean, I really think he's just gonna fly in.
He's like,
do his rally and then leave. I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. I don't think he's gonna stay the night here.
Keep the chopper running.
Because he's talking all over Texas.
Oh, yeah, he's probably like, keep the car running. We ain't gonna be here that long. We're gonna have a great wall. It's gonna be better than this wall. It's gonna be the best wall.
I mean, I can't picture Trump staying here.
Where would he stay, you think? The Ramada? We don't have a Ramada. We have a Hilton, don't we?
He's gonna stay at a Holiday Inn. Actually.
No, the Red Roof Inn. That's the one I always see. That's the one by Jaguars?
No, that's the one by Red Roof.
Oh, no, I think it's by Star Western Way or something. I think it's Red Roof Inn. There's another one. Where's the... I think it's a Hampton.
I don't know.
He's gonna stay at Motel 6.
He's gonna stay in La Quinta or whatever, right?
Yeah, I think there's one. Hotel Indigo.
Wherever he stays, he has to make sure there's a continental breakfast.
No, there's a Hotel Indigo. That's what it is. It's downtown. And then there's a Hyatt, and then there's a Holiday Inn.
He has to make sure he stays somewhere with continental breakfast. That is always important when you stay at a hotel.
Baby. To you, it's important. I mean, it's crucial.
It is. I mean, you spend all this money when you go on vacation. You should have a good breakfast included when you stay somewhere.
And hopefully he gets it.
But like continental, like none of that, like other freaking breakfast type where they just serve cereal.
We're gonna end this with a little story. I'm gonna tell it because I like telling this story. It's really funny. We went on vacation, and we were going to Orlando for a honeymoon, and we had already been married for like 2 years. We had the dates already planned out, but I had a deployment, and we had to move the dates a little bit, and so we had a room. And I think it was in like one of the buildings, and so when we asked if we could reschedule, they said, "Well, yeah, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to move you to a different building." Yeah, and so she was saying like it's gonna be this, and it's not gonna be that much extra. The lady's going on and on and on, telling Melissa, like, kind of trying to reassure her that it's still gonna be the same great service. And the only thing she asked, "Do you have any questions?" The only thing Melissa asked was, "Yes, but we still get the breakfast, right? And the lady just like chuckled and she's like, "Oh yeah, of course, that's what we do at this hotel. We wouldn't put you outside where we don't give you breakfast."
I mean, I
just
just
thought it was the funniest thing.
we're going on vacation. You know, we're already going to spend all this money on all this other stuff. The least we can have is a free breakfast with our stay. And a good breakfast, you know, eggs, bacon, sausage, waffles.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That goes to show you everybody has a different set of priorities. Everybody has the things that they're passionate about. But it's important to note that freedom of speech goes both ways. It's not just your freedom of speech. It's everyone's. So be out there. If you're going to go out there, enjoy it. Hopefully it's not too cold.
Be safe.
Don't be doing no stupid stuff.
Do it peacefully.
And, Vanessa, if you're listening to this, you are on the podcast. So, yeah. You
Vanessa,
guys know who she is.
She knows who she is.
She knows who she is. If your name is Vanessa, then you're in it. But, yeah, so we're going to hopefully try to have Brenda Moises from Fire Lane Podcast, which you guys can check them out in their Facebook, Fire Lane Podcast, and on Podbean. See if we can have them as guests. We're trying to figure out if this 2-mic situation is going to work, because like we said, this is the
first one kind of got messed up.
This is the second time we record this damn thing, so hopefully this is the one you're listening to. Because the third one's going to be like, we're not going to do a third one.
No, I would be dead. I need my sleep. It is almost,
it's noon. Or
it's
it's midnight.
It's midnight.
And we need to go Mimi's. If you guys don't know what that is, it means sleep in Mexican.
Sleep in Mexican.
But yeah, so if you guys want to follow us or follow the podcast on Podbean, it's free to download on Google and iOS, and we're also available on all the episodes are uploaded to YouTube on the Reject Bean Soup channel. That's Reject Bean Soup, REJECT. That's how you spell reject, and then bean soup. It's all together. Well, it's actually it's also separate, but well, I mean, it can't be both. just look up Reject Bean Soup or Reject Bean Podcast if it's easier.
It's all together or separate.
You can find both of them on YouTube, and then if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, that's Reject Bean Soup.
All together or separate.
And then Snapchat is it's actually Panico Hispanico, which is like Hispanic panic, but in Spanish, so Panico Hispanico.
So panic. Oh.
Yeah, and all the links of my Hispanic. Social media are on the YouTube. I'm gonna try this new thing where you get to sync up the Podbean to the actual YouTube URL. So let's hope that works. So I don't have to do 2 things at once because I'm lazy. But you guys have yourself a great day. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye, everyone. Be safe.
Be safe out there.